Do your skills from Overwatch transfer to Marvel Rivals? Yes, that's it. You can click off the video now. But if you're anything like me, then that answer isn't nearly good enough. So let's get into some of my background and why you should even be listening to me in the first place. I am no one special at all, and you could even say that I don't have much talent when it comes to games like this. I played Overwatch 1 very casually for like 2 weeks back in 2020. My friends were big fans of the game at the time, and one of them decided to game share it with me so we could all play as a team. But as you might have guessed, in 2020, we literally played games for 2 weeks and just went back to the main 2 or 3 we had in rotation. Fast forward to Overwatch 2, those same friends and I decided to play the new game and see what it had to offer. I don't know if the game had crack in it or if I was just fucking bored looking for something new to hyperfixate on, but I really started to enjoy the game and I played it a lot. I started out hard stuck gold in season 1 as a DPS player and nearly dropped all the way down to silver by the end of the season. Although my friends were nearly like plat, diamond level, I was still having fun despite being the worst of us. In season 2, I took a bit of a different approach to the game and I decided that I would need to learn to play every single role to understand what I need to be doing in order to climb on DPS. I gave every other role an honest effort and played to improve and didn't sweat losing as much because I knew that it was just a learning experience. I didn't expect the results to be so drastic in one season, but I literally went from knowing nothing about Overwatch in season 1, nearly D-ranking to silver, to peaking at diamond 3 on my main role. The thing that helped me the most in doing this was always being open to being wrong. I understood that I wasn't gonna always have everything figured out as a new player. I also watched a lot of unranked GM content, and I know that's kind of controversial content, but it genuinely helped me understand the game. Watching people like A10, Samito, and Guru taught me how to think for myself in my own matches rather than just mindlessly 2-queuing for 5 hours straight. Now, I didn't play seasons 3 or 4, or even much of 5, but I did something interesting in season 6 and 7. I found myself hard stuck on DPS once again, so I did what I did in season 2 and tried the other roles, and to my surprise, I got a lot better on both of them and even ended up peaking Masters on tank. I did literally stop queuing tank once I hit Masters 4 because the role was miserable to play at the time, and they actually got giga buffed after that. But my MMR was really high and I was still climbing very quickly. But that is some of my Overwatch background, just to show you that I'm no better or different than any of you. I've just played the game a fair amount, and I'd like to give y'all some insight on some of the core skills that do transfer, and one of the first is going to be resources. Now, this is arguably the most important thing to understand in any hero shooter, and that's what resources are and what they can do for you and your team. Resources are your cooldowns, your life, your ammo, space on the map, your health, and ult charge. These resources are constantly going to be traded between your team and the opposing team in order to win the game. What decides if games are won or lost is how you use those resources and when you use them. Say for instance, a Spider-Man is trapped in a room with a Venom, and they both have equal amounts of resources in this confined area. The Venom will win every time without fail because he has resources that heavily favor him in this 1v1. Venom has unlimited ammo, he has his cellular corrosion ability that slows Spider-Man and deals damage that he can't escape in this tight room. And on top of that, he has an ability that heals him the more damage he takes. Now, this is just a rough explanation of how resources can be traded and how they work. And you can have the same scenario in Overwatch with a Reaper and a Mercy, and the Mercy would just die every time. So yeah, that's just that for comparison. A more obvious way that resources can help you win or lose games is if you have someone on your team accidentally ult in spawn or at the end of the first round. You want your uptime on your ultimate ability to be as high as humanly possible because a lot of them are going to be team fight winners, especially in Marvel Rivals. Think about all the times this absolute fucking demon, YN, terrorist just ulted your entire team and you just lose the game. Your resources are all equally important, but in some cases like Jeff, your ultimate is more important of a resource than anything else on the map. With literally one click of a button, Jeff can take your health, your entire team's lives, space on the map, your cooldowns, your ammo, and yeah, it's just one click of a button. It's just OP. I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand resources in this game. Now, the other skill that transfers very well from Overwatch to Marvel Rivals is target priority, And man, oh man, this is just as important as understanding resources, and understanding this has won me so many games in Overwatch and Rivals. Understanding who to target and who not to target is so nuanced because it literally changes so frequently. There are instances in both Overwatch and Marvel Rivals where your target priority will literally change from each team fight within a match. So here's a breakdown on how I approach this issue. First, I look at the enemy team comp and I try and understand the win condition of every fight. You know, what does my opponent want to do to win this fight as smoothly as they can? In Overwatch, I know that if they have a Reaper, Mei, and a Roadhog, their win condition is pretty much just hooking my tank in, walling him off, and then just blowing him up. That's their highest priority target. It's my tank. To combat this, I may have someone go Orisa and manage their cooldowns effectively so the enemy team can't just one-shot them and take the space from us. I know that Rivals is new and there are a lot of new cooldowns that you have to learn and, you know, play around and shit. But learning them fast is what's going to help you climb and just understand what's going on in the game. I am actually a tank main in a Venom 1 trick, and I probably will be for a long time because I really just enjoy how his kit works. If that's content that you'd like to see, be sure to stick around. If not, thank you for watching this video all the way through. This is a 42-3 gameplay on Venom. I know it doesn't look the best because the replay system is kind of bugged right now. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the gameplay. If not, I'll catch you on the next one. Love y'all niggas, man. Peace.